Welcome to Copenhagen, Denmark's capital city and one of the most beautiful European cities. As you're planning your next visit to Denmark, use this travel guide on top things to do in Copenhagen. This includes both outdoor and indoor activities, as well as some tips about free things to do in Copenhagen. I'll first show you all the great outdoors activities in Copenhagen, point out tips on when to visit, what's free to visit, and give you ideas on how to make the most out of your visit. The Little Mermaid is one of the most popular and famous places in the entire Copenhagen. This iconic sculpture was inspired by the famous fairy tale of the Danish writer Hans Christian Andersen. As the Danes are very proud of their writer, you can find many souvenirs that are inspired by his tales. This statue was unveiled on 23rd August 1913 and commissioned by the Danish brewer Carl Jacobsen. Over the years, the Little Mermaid statue has been a victim of vandalism, but luckily she has been rescued and restored, and she still stands today in the Copenhagen harbor. Another popular thing to do in Copenhagen on a sunny day is to visit the Citadel, which is also known as Kastellet. The Citadel was created by the Danish king Christian IV in 1626. Today, this place is used both as military barracks and offices. Luckily, you can visit the Kastellet for free. If you haven't guessed it by now, then you should know that Copenhagen is a city by the sea and has many canals, which make the perfect backdrop for a boat canal cruise. If you're in Copenhagen on a sunny day, then consider booking a canal tour and discover the city from a new perspective. These tours are both in Danish and English and take around 1 hour. Some of the highlights of the tour include the Copenhagen Opera House, Amusement Palace, Christiansborg Palace, the impressive Black Diamond Library, and of course the Little Mermaid. If you want to explore at your own pace or have a private party on a boat, you may also want to rent your own boat. Seems like a lot of fun and might be more appropriate for a larger group of friends. Other water activities may be surfing, kitesurfing, kayaking, canoeing, and paddling. Welcome to the Round Tower, one of Copenhagen's most iconic buildings, which is right in the city center. The Round Tower was built by Christian IV in the 17th century to show his gratitude to the Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. At the time, Denmark was famous for its astronomical research. Some of the stories say that a Russian Tsar once rode up a horse on the wide spiral path that leads to the top. For sure, the ascending is worth it, as you will find yourself on an outdoor platform offering magnificent views of the old part of Copenhagen. Today, the Round Tower is the oldest functioning observatory in Europe, and it is used by amateur astronomers. And the breathtaking view at the top isn't the only thing that the tower has to offer. Here, you will also find a grand library hall, which now hosts various exhibitions. And did you notice that the tower has a hollow core? Well, don't worry, it is protected by glass, so there is no harm in stepping on it. Christiania is a famous free town of Copenhagen. It was founded in 1971 when a group of squatters occupied the buildings here. Today, many of the original settlers still live in the collectively controlled village, and the area has a clear 70s feel to it. This controversial area has become one of Denmark's most popular tourist attractions, mainly because of its hash and cannabis tolerance and its residents' relaxed lifestyle. Inside of Christiania, you will find a lot of creative spaces and outdoor art, which attracts more than 50,000 people every year, whereas the community has about 1,000 people living here. If you want, you can join a tour of Christiania, and you may also stop for a snack or a drink here. Above all, you may also find interesting architecture and unique music venues and art galleries. Note that Christiania is not like any other place of Copenhagen, and visitors are discouraged from photographing the area, especially around Pusher Street, which is quite rough and dodgy. According to Copenhagen police, the area around Pusher Street is controlled by organized criminal groups. The residents themselves discourage visitors from photographing, running, and talking on the phone in the area. At the main entrance, you will find a sign listing the rules, which the residents advise visitors to not photograph either. There have been media reports of small number of cases where visitors who have violated rules have been threatened assaulted and robbed by hash dealers. During summer weekends, locals will offer guided tours of Christiania, which is the best way to experience and understand this alternative community that exists right in the heart of Copenhagen. You've probably already seen pictures of Denmark's most famous church, the Church of Our Saviour. The most impressive part of this church is the architecture of its tower, which features a serpentine spire that was inaugurated in 1752. If you want to make it to the top, you'll have to climb 400 steps, which will get you 90 meters above street level. Since the last 150 steps are outside, climbing this tower might not be a fun activity if you're afraid of heights. On top of the spire, you'll see Our Saviour himself standing on top of a golden globe while watching over Copenhagen. Note that this popular outdoor attraction in Copenhagen attracts over 60,000 people every year. Note that the tower is closed in January and February. And as a travel tip, it might be a good idea to book your visit in advance. During high season, this place gets lots of visitors and you might have to wait quite a while until it's your turn to climb to the top. Welcome to one of the oldest theme parks in the world. Tivoli is a magical place and it's located right in the heart of Copenhagen, which makes it, of course, one of the best things to do in Copenhagen. Founded in 1843, Tivoli served as an inspiration for Hans Christian Andersen and Walt Disney. They both visited this place many times. Imagine strolling around the city and randomly hearing people screaming every now and then. I bet that you'll find it creepy at first, but then it will soon become hilarious once you realize it's only the effect of one of the rides at Tivoli. Some come here for the gardens, which are one of the best decorated that I've seen. Others come here for the rides or the special events. Either way, you will love your time spent at Tivoli. Note that only the entrance to Tivoli Gardens is included with your Copenhagen card. If you also want to try the rides, you can either purchase individual ride tickets or you can purchase all rides, which grants you the right to try the rides as many times as you want. I strongly advise that you spend at least half a day here because there's plenty to do and you want to make sure that you have plenty of time to try all the rides. Note that Tivoli tends to get crowded during summer when all kids and teenagers are on holiday. And to be honest, it's quite easy to spend an entire day here at Tivoli. You have a huge variety of restaurants, fun activities, rides, and beautiful corners where you can relax, and of course you have great music. There's always something happening at Tivoli, so make sure to check out their schedule in advance. Tivoli is open throughout the year and gets decorated to match every international holiday such as Halloween or Christmas. And that's not all about Tivoli. If you happen to be in Copenhagen during summer, make sure to be around Tivoli on a Saturday evening. From May to September, they offer these fantastic fireworks show that can be seen even from the City Hall Square. Even from the sidewalk, you may watch the fireworks for free, which counts as one of the top 3 things to do in Copenhagen during summer. Of course, the best view would be right from the Tivoli Gardens next to the open air stage. My suggestion is to use your entry to the Tivoli Gardens, which is offered with the Copenhagen Card, on a Saturday when you can also enjoy this beautiful fireworks show. Looking for some other outdoor activities in Copenhagen? I got you covered. The first one would be strolling along Nyhavn, the popular waterfront and canal, which is famous for its brightly colored 17th and 18th century townhouses. This is one of the most popular things to do in Copenhagen, and of course it is free. Another outdoor activity is to rent a bike and explore Copenhagen like a local. Another thing to do is to see the changing of the Royal Guard at Copenhagen Palace. It takes place daily at 12 p.m. and it's free for the public to watch. Another popular outdoor activity in Copenhagen during summer is to go out for a beer in the meatpacking district. This place has been recommended by a local. It has many outdoor bars and restaurants. If you want to see more of Copenhagen, explore some of its museums or castles, or you're just looking for a fun day to spend a rainy day, then I've got you covered. Here are the top things you can do in Copenhagen if you're looking for indoor activity. The first museum to check out on a rainy day in Copenhagen should be the Rosenborg Castle. This is a 17th century royal castle that safeguards the crown jewels and royal regalia. The Rosenborg Castle was built by the famous Danish king Christian IV, and it stands today as a testimony of the 400 years of royal treasure. As you walk up, the rooms are decorated lavishly, full of royal portraits. One room that will certainly remain in your memory is the King's Hall, while you find the coronation thrones. The hall is full of symbols and pieces of history. The wall tapestries illustrate the battles between Denmark and Sweden. It is truly rare to see such a well-preserved royal castle. You'll get to see the king's private writing cabinet, his bathroom, and view wax figurines of former royal inhabitants. The castle is also home to an exquisite collection of flora danica and one of the world's finest Venetian glass collections. And as if that wasn't enough, you'll end this castle visit with Denmark's crown jewels, which are kept in special vaults. The main sets are the diamond, the ruby, the pearl, and of course the emerald set, which is one of the world's finest. If you're keen to discover more about the Danish royal family and its history, then you should also visit the Amalienborg Palace, which displays more modern pieces from the mid-19th century until today. Denmark's National Museum of Natural History is another great option for spending time indoors. Here you'll discover beautiful minerals and of course a meteorite from outer space. Some of the exhibitions are changing, so you're always going to find something new at the Natural History Museum. Welcome to Christiansborg Palace, the place to experience 800 years of Danish royal history. Once home to kings and queens, Christiansborg Palace now houses the Danish Parliament, the Supreme Court, and the Ministry of State. You can visit the state rooms and walk in the footsteps of royalty. The Great Hall is probably the most imposing room in the palace. This is where you will find the Queen's tapestries. The Danish business community marked the occasion of Her Majesty Queen Margaret II's 50th birthday in 1990 by ordering a gift of 11 tapestries. Jorn Norgard painted the full-size sketches upon which the tapestries were woven. The tapestry series depict 1,000 years of Danish history. The Carlsberg Glyptotek displays ancient and modern art in truly unique surroundings. Founded in 1888 by brewer Carl Jacobsen, the gallery is renowned for its marble sculptures and its winter garden. Inside you will discover a beautiful building with high ceilings. The winter garden full of palm trees certainly is my favorite. As for the collection, you'll find plenty of ancient and modern ones. You'll find also temporary exhibitions if you're lucky, and no worries, there's always happening something at the Glyptotek. If you want to visit for free, you can do so every Tuesday when they offer free admissions to all visitors. The Department of Antiquities houses excellent collections of Egyptian, Greek and Roman art. You will walk through 3,500 years of art and history. Can you imagine yourself in ancient Greece or maybe in Egypt or Rome? This is the only Ripley's Believe It or Not exhibition in all Scandinavia. Here you will find a world of curious, which is quite a long way from the everyday normalities that you're used to. The exhibits are collected from all over the world. You will see many things that seem fake at first, but then you get to read their stories and begin to wonder. You'll see things like two-headed cow, which is stuffed by the way, don't worry, and a genuine shrunken head no bigger than a clenched fist. Other must-sees include the woman who alonged her neck by 34 centimeters using metal rings, the condemned prisoner who survived 13 shots and was granted a reprieve, and the awesome reconstruction of the Taj Mahal built from 300,000 matches. So there you have it, folks, the best outdoor and indoor attractions and free activities in Copenhagen. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful in planning your next visit to Copenhagen, make sure to subscribe for more content from Europe.